Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fabs in the house, and welcome back to the channel. Today, look at this. I'm in the house with the Skiff Knives Accomplice version 2 for a review, and we are gonna analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of this little fella, which is not so little, but as usual, don't forget to like the video. That's very important. And as well is important if you subscribe to the channel and if you leave me a comment. YouTube loves that. If you engage, YouTube is gonna be happy. I'll be super happy, and I'll be keep cranking these videos out for your viewing pleasure. Here you get to see embroidered pouch, Skiff logo, beauty inside the pouch, taco, padded, velvety, nylon, zippered, pretty cool. I like when they embroider the pouch. And I like when they do this kind of milling on the handle of a knife. This is the Skiff Accomplice version 2. Let's quickly check the size first, because this is 3.5 inch long cutting edge blade and 4.7 for the handle and 3 to 3 for the overall length. So not properly a small knife, but not even like huge. Bug out and mini bug out from Benchmade are testimony of the size of this guy, which is pretty much in the same ballpark of the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, not so much on the Para 3, and pretty much a little bit, actually the same of a large Sebenza 21 by Chris Reeve Knives, and this is a small Sebenza 21, by the way, and yeah, we're pretty much in the same ballpark. This is 3.6, 3.5, so a little bit more handle to blade ratio in favor of the Sebenza. And what else I can show you? Because we are saying like milling patterns, I've got a couple of Holt Blade Works, Morpheus and Spectre to show you some milling greatness going on right over there. Another pretty cool one, and finally a big boy, that's the Kultrotex Varn 3 Russian custom, and this is Brian Dovoid NF XL, another custom beauty, another custom because, I mean, come on, Peña, beautiful Apache Mexican blanket, and yeah, just last two, just I promise I'm gonna be done. A couple of Shirogorov custom division, probably, I mean, between my favorite F5 Silk and Neon NL. To give you an idea, like full-size knife, a little bit smaller, and the Skiff in this case just finds itself in between those two. This is a Skiff-made knife, Steve Skiff, custom maker from US. This thing is gorgeous. This thing is gonna set you around $900, $1,000 at least, depending on the configuration. You can go crazy with materials, steel. You can spend like twice as much, you know, if you start to putting Damacore, Thai Maskus, Mokutai, Zirkutai, polished, and you know, all the bells and whistles. This thing can get high up there. Look at this beautiful lines. I really like the shape of this. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Just look at this for a second. Look at the lines. Are edgy, but nice, rounded off here where they need to be rounded off. Very wide finger groove. I like that. Closed, I even like when it's closed. It's very pleasant. I like this swedge sticking out and then just sweeping down. And you can see the kind of like the blade shape already. It's gorgeous. It's very well made. It's shiny. This milling, by the way, sorry, is just spectacular. Like look at the reflection. You can get hypnotized like by looking at this. And by the way, just make sure you check this thing in 4K, because look at the level of detail that is going on here. It's amazing. So you get some nice rounded edges over here, and you get some very subtle internal chamfering. But what you get mainly, because this is the version 2, it's gonna be internal milling pockets to reduce the weight. So you not have like full slabs of titanium, you just have some nice slabs of titanium with some internal lightning pocket, and that's gonna be one feature that you're gonna recognize to distinguish the V1 from the V2. Second feature is gonna be the lock face stainless steel insert with over travel lock bar stabilizer integrated into it. So these two are the main improvements brought to this 2022 lineup from Skiff, and it's fantastic because those were two nitpicks that I had with the previous generation, let's say, like the weight and the lack of the lock face insert. So great job. I'm super happy to see these improvements on a very beautiful and already close to perfection knife. You have also like a pretty simple construction. You have a pivot T15 right over here and a couple of screws with a T8 Torx bit needed to take this guy apart. What I was just noticing, like for example, if you check this screw right over here, you see it's sunken in, and this one is less. So this is pretty much okay. This is a little bit, it's not the same height. So there's this discrepancy right over here. The pivot is just sticking out. That's not an issue. And this, the screw for the stainless steel lock face insert, it's absolutely flush. So this is a little bit lower than this, and this is definitely lower. So I'm noticing three different heights, like flushnesses to the with the scale. And as if you could check the two screws for the clip, because the clip is like tapering down and the clip the screws have the same height, one will appear to be flush and the other would be appearing to be sunken. So little detail that I just thought to share with you. I mean, it's nothing, it's not important, but it's just a nitpick that in a close to $1,000 knife, you start to check those little details because you are aiming to perfection, and this is getting very close to that. You have this pointy flipper tab with no jimping, which is not gonna work absolutely for like push button. You gotta stick with the light switch and it's gonna be amazing. Even if there's no jimping right over here, this is has a very nice shape. You see, like just fits the tip of your index finger beautifully to break the detent and just deploy this gorgeous drop point blade, but a tiny bit pointy and just sticking out a little bit right there. Then of course you get, look at this, some nice matte finish blue anodized titanium milled pocket clip backspacer matching the clip and the colors right over here. And it gets to this point right there. So the blade centering is just spot on. But as you can see right over here, I'm able to touch the tip of the blade. It's not in a dangerous position because I have to jam my finger in it, but still I'm able to touch it, and that's probably something that I would adjust just like a millimeter shorter. It's gonna be perfect. Then, I mean, if you want to know how to take this guy apart, you can also check my maintenance video. It's pretty straightforward, but if you want to see also how this guy is made on the inside and you want to admire the internal milling, yeah, go for it. It's going to be fun. Also, like another big improvement, as I was saying, is the stainless steel lock face insert. That's pretty good. It's going to eliminate any lock stick source from the engagement of the lock bar with the tang of the blade, and that's great. Over travel lock bar stabilizer embedded. You have an external cut relief for the lock bar, which is milled. I mean, it's milled. Look at that. And it's not only milled like here, it's milled like all the way through. How cool is this detail? I love it. It's just gorgeous. It's amazing. You also have, I was saying right over here, a detent ball ramp for the ceramic detent ball, which you can maybe appreciate from this angle right there. It's going to be beautiful to feel the detent ball just going on to the ramp and on the tang of the blade very nicely indeed. You have also a pocket clip, which is a little bit long in my opinion. Maybe like a little bit shorter would have been perfect. It is gonna be showing this much knife out of your pocket. It has an area right underneath, right over here, which is not milled. The point of contact with the clip and between the clip and the lock face scale is not milled. So it's not going to be shredding your pockets, your fabric, the fabric of your pants or whatever. That's a very cool little detail. This is a tip-up carry-on screwed in from the outside, titanium milled pocket clip blue anodized, matching the collar and the spacer. It's very well functioning, a little bit steep exiting ramp, but the tension is good to go. It's not reversible, just that. And then you get this CTS XHP draw point blade, which is, in this case, hand rub satin with polished flats and polished spine. You get some very cool jimping to look at, but surprisingly, it's rounded off. I mean, it can kind of slide. It's gorgeous to look at, but it's, I would say, not as functional as, I don't know, something a little bit with more bite. It's very good. I like the thumb ramp right over here. I love this swedge with a hand rub satin, creating some nice contrast with the flats and reaching the tip of the blade, probably like 20-30% belly, and just straight edge up to the finger choil, which you can notice right over here. Look at this. It's not sharpened all the way, so you can actually take advantage of this grip and you're not gonna get cut. But when you do go and sharpen, you have to be careful not to just go onto the plunge grind. Just be careful, all right? So pretty cool, sterile looking blade, dual tone finish. Love the hand rub satin, nicely chamfered right here for the finger choil. That's pretty cool. I love the fact that it's sterile looking, 100%. Then you get this. I mean, the sound this guy makes, it's a gorgeous thwack and think and thwack. Wow, it's so full and rich. It's deep, kind of loud. I love it. Gorgeous, gorgeous sound. Really, oof, that's amazing. Let's check the weight, because this went on a diet, lost a little bit of weight, especially from the milling pockets on the inside, and it's going to be under 5 ounces, so 4.93 in your pocket. Not too shabby for a full-size knife. There's some heft to it, and it feels great in the hand because there's no hot spots, basically. It's just like solid, maybe a tiny bit here if you just squeeze a lot, maybe like this point right over here, but nothing too crazy. Feels good in the hand. I don't feel any sharp edges. The lock bar access, if you just angle your thumb like that, is going to be good to go. Or if you use your index finger, it's going to be perfect, because look at this. It's just like meant to be used like so. So that's going to be another method to disengage the lock bar. Or if you prefer to use the thumb, just angle it a little bit like so, and you're going to be pretty good to go. Hear that sound, guys. One more time. Ooh, that's good. Amazing. I was saying, yeah, feeling department. This guy feels good. Nice jimping. It's not too much bite, but it's good looking. It feels all right. I love how the thumb ramp feels right over there. Everything else is just like amazingly put together. There's another little thing on the fit and finish I was saying, beside that, the screw's height. So if you see, the backspacer here is just absolutely flush right over here. And then here you have a little bit of, but just a tiny bit, you can kind of feel it. So it's just a little bit raised, but we are talking like microscopic level. So that was another detail that I noticed. But beside that, the fit and finish is just spot on, beautifully centered. The grip is gorgeous. This thing is not slippery at all. It's not gonna go anywhere. You can actually do comfortably a reverse grip, right? It's gonna feel beautiful because the handle is big, and of course there's no rattling. This thing is rock solid, doesn't move, and you have, of course, Skiff bearings running under the hood, and this guy, without cutting myself, this guy flies open. The feeling when you deploy this blade is unique to Skiff knives, and I had like 4 or 5 so far, and they all feel the same. Detent is strong to deploy, very nicely dialed in. You can do push button, but it's kind of like you have to be back. So I would just stick with the light switch. But anyways, this feeling right over here is typical of Skiff knives. Very beautiful sound. The closing action, of course, you disengage the lock bar and the blade just wants to, see, just free fall like that. Put it in the vertical position, there's no guillotine effect because you just need a gentle nudge, kind of like that, and this guy is gonna close, of course. It's not like you have to shake vigorously. No, you just gently do this and this guy's gonna run, is gonna glide into the handle, and it's a beautiful feeling that is created by ceramic ball bearings made by Skiff, of course. In this case, everything else is just spot on, like the design, the sound, the ergos are very, very good. Just a little nitpicks I have for the fit and finish, which is just minimal, because everything else, guys, is just amazing. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned.